Welcome back to Tough Men of Faith. Nick, I thought you were going to kick this off today.
I was going to, but here I am now. So here we go.
I was over here looking at memes.
You find anything good?
No.
Huh?
No.
Are you having an interesting week?
I have had a great day.
Really?
Yeah, one of the
Nice.
best.
Nice. That's awesome.
You want to know why?
Yeah, I'd love to.
I was waiting for you to ask. So when did the pandemic start? That's 2020, right?
Yeah, it's like March of 2020, I think.
March of 2020.
So we're almost 3 years.
Yeah. So for the first time since the pandemic,
Yeah.
I visited a buffet today.
Really?
Well, Golden Corral. I had a Shoney's once down in Tennessee
Golden
because they
mullet.
never shut
How
it
was
down.
it?
Oh, man. I had forgotten how good it was.
Was it? Is it good?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Really
Nice.
good.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
We're-
told me you were doing that a couple
Yeah.
days ago, and I forgot all about
I just
it.
forgotten, like, there's so much food. I started with a salad,
Yeah,
but then
naturally.
from there, I just ate for like an hour and a half straight.
Okay. That's awesome.
So I ate with this guy who loves it. It's his favorite. It's one of his favorite. It is his favorite place
Yeah.
to eat at.
This is the guy that he like calls you and leaves you interesting like motivational voicemails and stuff like that, right?
He does. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a good guy. Just
Yeah,
started
awesome.
coming to church recently. Yep.
Yeah.
Good guy. But he started out well with his plate, man. So I went and got a salad first.
Yeah.
Then
He
I was
started
like,
off with the whole fried chicken.
He had listen to his initial plate.
Yeah.
It had a little bit of mac and cheese.
Yeah.
And then they didn't have real steak, they had pork steak,
Okay.
which was just mainly just fat.
Yeah.
It's really just like, but he had
You got a
several of those
buffet.
piled up. Mac and cheese, those pork steaks. He had like 3 or 4 things of meatloaf piled on top of each other.
Okay. Man
And-
likes his meatloaf.
He does. And then I think it was spaghetti or something else that was right there piled up on
Ooh.
it. And so the whole plate was piled up. And then around the edges,
Yeah.
he put tuna salad.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, what a machine.
Man,
Wow.
yeah. So I instantly just set my salad plate to the side.
Yeah.
Made my way back up there.
It's like, well, I got to top this or at least come close. I'm not going to do it with a salad today.
Yeah. Then the only thing they didn't have anymore that they used to have is the fondue fountain.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What about the like dessert buffet? They still have that?
It was amazing.
Okay.
Like so many pies and ice cream and brownies.
Okay.
I told Karen I was going there, and her one thing was like, "Don't get sick," because I usually don't even hardly eat lunch.
Yeah.
So it's-
Right. Yeah. That's awesome.
yeah. Well,
I'm glad it was good.
it was good, and I was thinking like coming up, we're gonna have an interview with a guy who's a personal trainer, does some coaching, help
Yeah.
guys lose their dad
Yeah, I can't
bods.
wait
So,
for that.
Yeah, so I thought that would not be the time to go to Golden Corral that day.
It might be the last time you go there.
Maybe. So I thought today was yeah. So I'm having a good day.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. You?
I've had a great week.
Good.
Great couple weeks, really. So,
No, you just got around to listening to our last episode.
yeah. Man. Hey, we want to talk about that?
Well, you got put in Facebook jail or
I
something.
did.
right?
Yeah.
So
I got banned for. I thought it was 28 days, but
Yeah.
they let me post it. So
okay.
I must not have gotten banned, or they must have misstepped or something. But
Yeah.
yeah, I posted
Just something you shouldn't have.
yeah, it was a Valentine's Day meme to my wife,
Okay.
where it embellished some serial killers, I believe.
Okay.
And I guess you're not allowed to post serial killers on the Facebook. So anyway, I thought I got banned, and I contested it because, I thought what they were doing was ridiculous by taking my post down. So I contested it, and that's when they said I got banned, but I don't think I ever really got banned. Anyway, so yeah, I just listened to it recently.
Yeah.
And
What'd you think?
I thought it was awesome.
What'd you learn? So let me ask you a couple questions.
Yeah.
When I go back and listen to our episodes,
Yep.
when we have a guest, I always learn something.
I do too.
I mean, I learned something from you as well. But,
Yeah,
so
here we go.
what was your biggest takeaway?
Like a couple things really stuck with me. So we talked to Howard before he came to a men's conference or a men's retreat, which was a little odd because he came all the way out to your grandparents' farm,
Mhm.
and he spoke to 40 or 50 men.
Yeah.
Well into the night. Like, I mean, we were sitting around by campfire, and he's telling his story, and it stuck with me pretty well then. And he said something then that really stuck with me, but generational curse. Your fathers have done it, your grandfathers have done it, your great-grandfathers have done it. They've all done it wrong. And generational curse and, bad decisions and bad lifestyles. And you see what they've done and you follow that because you're not really trying to break the mold. You're just trying to follow what you've seen. And, you're learning from your teachers. That's one of the big things that's really stuck with me since the first time I heard him talk.
Yeah.
But the second thing that really stuck with me is he said to prepare yourself to walk with God, which I hadn't really thought about before. But he said, you'll have to decide to let go of some earthly things and some habits and some people to begin your walk with God.
Mm-hmm.
And I hadn't thought about it like that before, but it's funny that, now we're, a few years into my walk with God, and
Yeah.
I see friendships gone that were there before that were really strong.
Mm-hmm.
I see some friendships that were great and are just, barely hanging on now because either I've changed or they've changed or they're doing things that I don't want to be a part of. And I start thinking about things like that. That's a couple of things that's really stuck with me.
Yeah. One of the things I took from his is like the guy has a sense of purpose. Like he knows why he's here on earth.
Yeah.
And he's gonna move in that direction. Doesn't matter what comes his way.
Yep.
So he mentioned that he has cancer now.
Yeah.
He mentioned his age and different things. He's like, listen, I'm going to teach men. I'm going to disciple men. I'm going to mentor men, and I'm going to keep doing that. Whether I'm working at a school with young men, I'm going to go. We're just going to Africa or something.
Yeah, and that was the other thing too. Is he said he started out. He's kind of raised up west side of Indy in a real racial tense time.
Mm-hmm.
He said he was going to join the Navy so he could learn about explosives and things like that, so he could bring back and apply to his his Black Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
People that he was running around with, and he could have some knowledge on how to do things properly so he didn't kill himself. And he got into the Navy, and it just kind of changed his heart. Like, that's not exactly what I wanted to do anymore. Yeah. And I got around, he said something that was huge to me. He said he got around different guys in different cultures and noticed that the white man isn't the worst thing in the world. Yeah. There's other things out there that are worse, and, these guys could be my friends. So it just a lot really stuck with me. And he grew up in a really rough time, a time when, like I said, there was racial tensions. Look at now between then and now, like just electronics world. I mean, look at phones, for instance. I mean, just everything's changed so much in 40 or 50 years. And I don't know, just a lot of what he said stuck with me.
Yeah.
So
it was good.
It was good.
You ready to jump into today's?
I think so.
Here's what we're going to do today.
What are we going to talk about?
Well, I called you a couple hours ago and told you what I was thinking.
Yeah.
So yesterday, I took some time off work. My girls were off school.
Yeah.
We went horseback riding.
Okay. How was that?
It was good. It's like, sometimes we go horseback riding. There's like some trails at a state park.
Okay.
And really your horse just follows the trail.
Yeah.
It's like a glorified pony ride at the circus or wherever.
Like every once in a while, you want to pull left on the bit just to see if they'll go off
but they
trail.
don't even do it, right? They know. They have their nose and the butt of the horse in front of them. They're not going to move, right? So you can kick and scream all you want. That's what the horse
Nature smells different than what I'm supposed to be smelling.
But this was a little bit more trail riding, and I don't know if you call it real horseback riding, but felt like mountains, which we're in Indiana, so it's not really mountains. But,
okay. But still, even if something's straight
I went close to Ohio, so some bigger hills and things. So anyways.
Yeah.
So I'm up there on my horse riding around, and
on your steed,
having a good time, and started thinking about, because there's this Toby Keith song. Have you heard it? Should have been a cowboy.
Oh yeah.
But I should have learned to like rope and ride.
Should have learned to rope and ride.
Wearing my 6-shooter.
Yeah.
Riding my pony on a cattle drive.
Right.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
You know the song.
Yeah.
So I've always thought when I hear that song come on the radio, I'm like, I should have been a cowboy.
Yeah.
Right.
And you look like a cowboy.
Yeah. I don't know if I look like one. Yeah.
Tomato, tomato.
But I always felt like, I know God doesn't make mistakes, but I'd really like to be born in that day and age.
Yeah. And
then it seems like right now, I read an article in, I think it was the New York Times a couple weeks ago, about all these guys are getting into Western gear now because there's just some really popular shows about.
Because of Yellowstone.
Yeah. And I think there's some spin-offs or some different ones of it.
Yeah, you got 1890 and 1923. And,
okay, that's what it was talking
30
about.
years.
So they're saying like all these city guys are going and buying boots and buckles, which is fine, right?
I feel bad now that I've had boots for a couple of years and now I look like a Yellowstone spin-off guy. Wow.
But no,
like a fanboy.
You're a fanboy, which is fine if you want to dress like that. It's whatever, right?
Yeah.
But then I was thinking like,
but I have no idea what I'm doing on a horse. I just like my boots.
Well, you should go with us next time. We'll take you riding.
We'll see.
Here's the thing: like, I really don't know what I'm doing. I haven't rode horses much. I was a farrier for a while.
Okay.
So I shoot horses.
I remember that. Yeah.
Listen, Blake's already laughing because he thinks I said ferry.
Yeah.
You always go on this.
I was a farrier for a while.
But we never rode horses. My grandpa's theme was always like, "We're going to take these people's money, but we're not going to spend money on horses."
Yeah, I get it.
It's like, okay, so that's what we thought. So I didn't ride a lot.
A friend of mine has race horses, and he said just one small incident from losing millions of dollars.
Yeah.
He said horses are just, they're money pits, and he said, I'm just one small incident from losing a couple $1 million.
Yeah.
And he said, it's just a normal thing.
Yep. Where was I going?
I can't imagine. Sorry.
I was thinking about the Cowboys.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, I was thinking like tough men of faith because we do this podcast.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of traits made for a good cowboy? And then I just started applying that back to like men in general.
Yeah.
Right. So like men in the Bible time from 2,000 years ago when like Paul and Peter and Jesus was walking earth, or even several thousand years before that when David, before that Moses and Adam, right, all the way beginning till now in 2023 to 2133, whenever 110 years when that happens or whatever, right? Like there's certain like traits of men that are just timeless.
Yeah.
That we should always have, no
Like
matter
being able
what.
to back up a trailer properly.
Well, no, see, I would say that maybe now.
Yeah.
But those days are going to be gone because you're not going to back your trailer yourself.
They already have the technology. Like you do a dial or something in.
My truck has that.
Does
I've
it?
never used it. I don't know how to use it because I'm
Because
about
you back a trailer.
well, I'm about the world's best backer of trailers.
Right, yeah, I got that.
Yeah.
Same here.
Really?
I show other people how to do it when they fail, for the second or third time.
I do too.
Like, all right, slide over. I got this.
Yeah. When I'm downtown, sometimes I ask people.
I can thread the needle. Let's put it that way.
Do you need me to help parallel park your truck for you?
Yeah. I'm a really good parallel parker too.
We're gonna have a competition.
Let's do it.
See who can back a trailer the best. Where was I going? You keep distracting me.
Sorry, man. I'm thinking about timeless traits that men have.
Timeless traits, yeah.
Like I know people that can't drive a trailer forwards. They really can't do it backwards.
Yeah.
So anyway.
And where was I going? I have a cool story about backing a trailer.
Do you?
Yeah, I'll share it later.
All right.
Traits, not backing a trailer because they wouldn't need that 2,000 years ago.
They might have.
Docking a boat in their chariot.
Can you imagine doing it with a horse?
No,
now that takes skill.
Have you seen guys do that?
No, I haven't. But
when we used to go up to the Amish country and shoot horses up there, those guys could back those trailers with horses on. Yeah.
Think about the fire engines, the ones where you drive in the back.
Oh yeah.
The tiller trucks. Is that what they're called?
I don't know what they're called.
Them guys are awesome.
They are.
Anyway.
Okay, let's go. So traits, right? Not backing a trailer. Even that's a good skill to have right now.
It is.
So I started thinking, like, what's some good ones? So I just, on the horseback in the mountains of Indiana, which don't exist. In my mind, I thought of a few. And I thought today I'm just going to.
those hills and hollers.
Hills and hollers, riding my horse. I came up with a few. I was just going to run by you today, and I thought we could just talk about for a few minutes.
See what you got.
All right. The first one is like maturity, like being mature.
Well, stop right there. I can't help you. I'm not your guy. Didn't we just have a talk about maturity the other day?
I don't know.
People at the church asked me to serve Easter.
Yeah.
And I told them, I was like, the only way I'm serving on Easter is if I can preach.
Oh, yeah. We said you're not ready for that.
Yeah. They said that I'm not ready for it. And
well, there's a Bible verse, which I didn't get all the references because it's on the back of a horse.
Wait a minute, I know where you're going with this, but
okay.
Go ahead.
No, if you know the verse.
I don't know the verse by
1 Corinthians 13:11.
Is that the one?
I think that's the one.
Okay.
When I was a child, I did childish things, but when I became a man, I kind of put those away.
Oh, okay. That's not the verse I was thinking.
Okay.
I was thinking about the one about being teachers and how everyone's not ready to be a teacher.
Yeah.
We just talked about it.
Yeah, well, we looked at it in James chapter 3, but it's in Timothy as well. Yeah.
See?
No, but I was just saying in 1 Corinthians there when Paul's like, hey, when I was a kid, I did some things like I should as a kid, but then I became a man.
Right.
And I put those things away.
And I quit doing things like a kid.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I thought, that's true of men of all generations. Like
when
I was on the back of a horse, I thought, these guys were mature, like some serious stuff, like life and death things. And you go back through history, you see that. But
it's funny now that we're riding horses for fun.
Yeah.
Where 100 years ago, even 80 years ago, we were riding horses as our daily means of travel.
Yeah.
Crazy to think about like that.
Yeah. But I think this is a big one for men now, right? That they're not mature a lot of times.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's a trait that we need as men.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times we don't have a purpose is the reason we're not mature. Like,
right.
If you don't have a purpose, there's no problem with spending your entire evening playing video games.
Right, yeah, it's easy to be immature if you don't have a purpose.
Yeah, or just watching football and drinking beer because there's nothing more to life.
Yeah.
Right, so there's no need to mature.
Right.
So, yeah, I remember this is a while back hearing about, have you heard of Peter Pan syndrome?
I don't think so.
It's kind of like.
Lied to me?
Well, I'll probably mess it up some, but basically it's about men who fit the Peter Pan mold, like they're adult males, but they act like children.
Okay.
Like little boys.
Some would say I have this on occasion,
Well,
but I'm growing out of it.
Yeah, well, they have like magical thinking or like goals that aren't really going to happen. They don't even really care. They just think like kids, right?
Gotcha.
So they're not mature. So, and I remember hearing about a few years ago that a lot of times when you see like reality stars, like The Bachelor and those type of shows, is what you're seeing is guys that struggle with that. So,
okay.
Yeah, I don't know, but I think it's important that men mature.
Yeah, for sure.
And so we see that in Scripture. Like we need mature men who take things seriously.
Right. Well, and it kind of goes back to something we've said before in the past, but get yourself some friends.
Yeah.
Some like-minded friends that are kind of moving in a maturing direction.
Yeah.
You guys can rub off on each other and pick some things up that way.
It doesn't mean you don't have fun, right?
Right.
But it means
just do it differently.
You don't keep acting like a 16-year-old when you're 35.
Right. Yeah.
Right. There's a time to be serious. There's time to get stuff done.
Yeah.
So it's.
All right. What's your next point?
Are you done talking about that one?
Well, yeah, man. You can only step on my toes so
much.
much.
All right. The next one's not a big word. Fortitude.
Okay.
Fortitude. So I actually looked up the definition of it.
Good.
Fortitude is a strength or firmness of mind, courage of soul, which enables a person to encounter danger with coolness, to bear pain or adversity without murmuring, depression, or despondency.
Okay.
That's a lot, but basically it's this. It's like you can enable someone to encounter danger and be cool during that time, to bear some pain, to have some problems, but you don't complain or try to shy away from it. Like, like tough times are ahead.
Yeah.
And I'm here for a reason. I'm not going to complain about it. This is where God has me, and I'm gonna lead through this situation.
Just gonna roll with it.
Yeah. So it kind of combines like courage with strength.
Right.
And actually, I'm going to do something. So I'm going to be courageous. I'm going to have conviction, and I'm going to have the strength to do it. So when I thought of like the cowboys of old, right, they had conviction that, hey, this is what's right and this is what's wrong. And I'm going to do this. And they had strength and they had great courage in what they would do. And we can see that guys in the Bible. We can see that all throughout history. Guys who had fortitude just had great conviction, courage, and strength. And I think that's missing sometimes in guys. Like, we don't have that strong conviction of this is what we're wired to do as men. And if we have the conviction, do we have the courage to say, no, I'm going to do this?
Well, I think that's just it. I don't think you have the conviction.
And I think that's where it starts,
right? 2023 yet. If you don't have the conviction, then why on earth would you change what you're doing to do what's right?
Yeah.
It just wouldn't make sense.
Yeah. You have to have that, be able to stand on that principle. Right?
Yeah.
This is right. This is not right.
Yep.
And someone needs to do something about it, and I'm going to do something about it. That's really what manliness is, like masculinity, right? It's that conviction.
Kind of standing up for what's right and doing what's right.
You want the next one?
Yeah, let's hear
I kind of mentioned this one in the first one, but it's purpose.
Yeah.
Like they should have like a strong sense of purpose.
Right. Not like to play video games every day.
Yeah, I think if you don't have a purpose, and there's nothing wrong with playing video games occasionally if that's your thing, right?
I pick on that because it's not my thing.
But yeah, it's not mine either. But or fantasy football or whatever it may be, it's because you just don't have a sense of purpose. So why not just spend all evening doing this?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to get after it in life.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to merely let it pass me by. So yeah, I think the purpose is also what
starts. Find your purpose, You
got to find it. But if you don't have it, I mean, that's why we see men who get so excited about sports is that they just live through the lives of these athletes that they watch on TV.
Right.
And they get so excited about them winning these championships because they're just living their life through that.
Yeah.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with having sports teams and cheering for it. But
but it can't be the center of everything.
That can't be the center of your life. Right. It's like you have to have some type of purpose.
Yeah. Here, I thought this was going to be more of backing trailers and riding horses, but.
No,
you kind of
I was really thinking back through history because you think about purpose. Like men used to have purpose because in order for us to eat tomorrow, we're going to have to go out and kill something.
Yeah.
In order for our wives and kids to eat, we're going to have to go kill something. So we're going to have to go hunt something tomorrow. We're going to have to take our spear or a knife, and we're going to have to go make this happen.
Yeah.
And then we also want to live in a better place. So we're going to have to build cities.
Right.
So we're going to have to start using our brains to learn how to build stuff. We're going to have to fight battles because people are going to come after us.
Yeah.
And so there's all these things that would take place, and these guys had purpose to make that happen.
Right.
And now we live in such a soft generation or society, not generation, society.
Yeah, but it's kind of like Howard said, like the other day, or when we were talking to him, it's like, everything is, now we have to be tough men of faith.
Yeah.
He said that, it's so soft now. He said we're a bunch of sissies, actually, is what he said. He's kind of right. Like everything's kind of handed to you. Yeah, it makes it easy to live without purpose because everything's so easy to go get. I mean,
it is. But the Cowboys had purpose, right? They would ride for a particular brand. Like, so you mentioned, what's the show?
I think it's Yellowstone.
Yellowstone. Like, I'm part of this ranch or whatever, right? And so I have a purpose for being here, and I'm going to move these cattle from this state to this state, and they're going to get there, and they're going to get fed, and we're going to make money, or we're going to take care of it. We're going to protect them along the way. It's like there's like a sense of purpose, and so men need that.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what we're designed to do, is to have a sense of purpose. I have two more.
Okay.
Discipline was the next one.
Yeah. Discipline's a good one.
Yeah, those Cowboys would get up before the sun came up, right?
Yeah, but even beyond the Cowboys, like even just self-discipline for us guys, it's super easy to fall into something and then not discipline ourselves to stop doing something or to do it moderately or, it's just so easy to put anything in front of God or in front of our religion or in front of just opening up your Bible and reading. It's just, it takes a little bit of discipline. Working out, we talk about that quite a bit.
Yeah.
It's just, you have to have some kind of discipline in your life.
Yeah, well, and I think we've fallen into the trap of instant gratification.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't have to get disciplined to work for anything. Like, if it doesn't come easy,
I don't want it.
I don't want it.
Yeah.
Right? So there's needs to be immediate return. I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
And discipline means you got to get up and work hard at it.
Right. I agree.
So, pornography is one of those, right?
Yeah,
right,
so for sure. That's instant gratification.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, to click away.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, but if you want to be successful, you got to be disciplined.
Oh, yeah. You have to have discipline. I talked to a guy the other day, and he was kind of asking me to come and work for him kind of thing. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, I could. And he's like, well, are you disciplined? It's like, well, every day I wake up at, 5:15 and I'm
Yeah.
out the door by 6 or 6:15 and, I have a work day, a solid work day ahead of me. And like, it's different from the guys that kind of roll out of bed. They kind
Yeah.
of do something here and there. They just, it's odd. It's odd to hear and talk to people that don't have discipline.
It is. Well, yeah, and I found they usually have excuses for why things don't get done.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? A lazy person always has excuses for why it doesn't
for
get
sure.
done. Discipline. It's always been important. Like you see it in characters in the Bible. And all right, last one. I didn't write much down on this. It was compassion.
Yeah.
I think that's an important trait that men have always needed to have and should have and continue to have.
If you don't have compassion for the things that you're doing in life, why do you do them?
Yeah.
Why are you, what's your drive to keep doing them? Is that what you're talking about?
I said compassion, not passion.
I said compassion?
Compassion.
Yeah.
Did I not read that? No, I think that'd be right. I don't know. I was thinking like...
Can't you be compassionate about the things you do in life?
No, I was thinking like showing compassion to others.
Oh, okay.
But what you're saying makes sense too.
Huh.
It's just not where my mind was going.
Gotcha. Let's see where you were going.
I was just going like the world needs compassionate men. So if I see someone hurting, I have a burden to do something about it.
Okay.
So whether that's someone in my family or
showing compassion,
something in my neighborhood or city where it's, hey, there's something wrong. Like there's injustice here. And I'm compassionate, like compels me to do something.
I was actually thinking about this a lot earlier today. It's funny you say that, but I was thinking about our church. Mm-hmm. We go to an inner city church. Mm-hmm. We serve in an inner city church, which has a totally different demographic than a church 3 miles away outside of the 465 loop.
Sure.
And I was thinking about that, and I've had so many invites and, hey, why don't you come check out my church? It's different. Yeah. Hey, things are easier here. Things are better here. And I respond with, like, I don't want to come to your church. I want to serve at mine where, it's not easy, where it's not, money's not as easy to come by. There's a need at the church that I go to and I serve at. Whereas I'm sure there's a need at your church, too, that's a few miles away and has things that's a lot better and a lot easier. But I am compassionate about serving where I'm at.
Yeah, I think you're lying.
I'm not, actually.
No, you should tell them. When they ask, you be like, hey, the preaching at my church is fire.
Yeah,
that's why I
stay. But same point there. Like 5, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, I would have never thought I'd be friends with my pastor. I would never ask him and his family to go on a vacation with me because, it's vacation and...
Yeah, you want to have fun. You can't have your pastor there.
You get to cut loose a little, But I would have never thought about that before. And, and you grow close with people and you develop relationships with people and life changes and it's funny the way it does.
Yeah, but I would agree. Like our church has been called to, I think, an area that needs some people just to have a heart of compassion for them. And every area is different, right? But in our context, it's where we find ourselves.
And I'm not like trying to brag or anything, but look at other area churches just within, a 4 or 5 mile radius. I mean, there's churches are closing down daily. And somehow, by the grace of God, we still keep growing and building and, things are great. Not great, but things are good. And they're moving in a good direction. I
think which it'd be interesting maybe even talk about this sometime, like what has happened at our particular church at Villa. But one of the things that's happened here is God gives the growth. But the other things happen is like we've had a lot of men get excited about the gospel and about showing compassion to a community. And we have a great ladies ministry and women leaders. Like they're doing phenomenal things at Villa. But one of the things I think that kind of sets us apart is we have, I don't say if we attract men, but men tend to like coming here.
Yeah, I agree.
So
maybe that's where the preaching comes in. They really like the preaching.
Maybe, because they never know.
But no, like, I think about that, and it's like, I'm compassionate about serving in my church, and it doesn't have all the bells and whistles, but it doesn't need to either. We can make it the best that we can possibly make it, and that's all we can do with it. I think about that a bunch.
Yeah. Let's wrap this up.
Something that weighs on me a lot. So, let's wrap it up.
So the things we mentioned, be mature.
Yeah.
Don't be a little boy.
Right.
Fortitude.
Yeah.
Big word. Just go look it up. Having a sense of purpose.
Yeah.
Being disciplined.
And showing some compassion.
Yeah. Blake wanted me to mention at the end here that if you enjoy what you're hearing, listening, if you could share it on social media. And I'm just going to go ahead and throw this out there if you don't mind. I don't want to overstep my bounds.
What you got?
Well, if you share this on social media, that Nick Robertson will just come and patch a drywall hole for you for free.
Hold on a second. Stop that right there.
Oh,
because,
okay.
Dude, my Facebook has been like blowing up over the last few weeks. Somebody tagged me on some chat group as a drywall guy. And I have 100 unread messages.
Okay.
Of people needing patches done. And I've been ignoring every one of them. So please don't.
Yeah. Okay. So never mind.
Yeah. He won't
so
do
here's
that.
okay. What about this? If
Okay.
they share it on social media, I think there's a way we can see on social media who shared it. Okay. That
Yeah.
the one and only Nick Robertson will give you a shout out on the next podcast we record.
And a bumper sticker.
And a bumper sticker.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So if you share it on social media, Nick's going to tell you good job.
And I'll give you a bumper sticker.
And
I've got hundreds of them to give out. So let's tag up all the cars on the south side of Indy.
All right, sounds
That's where
good.
all my friends live anyway. It works.
Like it and share.
Yeah.
Producer Blake's over here. Can never make him happy.
He should just do the advertising for us.
He does. He does.
Yeah. We can't open it. We can't close it. He's got it all under control.
All right, so we got a couple of big interviews coming up. I'm really excited about.
Yeah, I am too. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's
I
good.
thought the Howard one was going to be a lot of, and it was a lot of fun, and I
it's
had a lot of good takeaways from it. But yeah, I think the next few will be great.
All right, so thanks for joining us.
We'll see you next time.